Kevin James, who is one of the stars of Grown Ups 2, hits theaters Friday, July 12th. Kevin joins us now. Kev, how are you?
Danny boy, how are you, my friend?
Good. Where are you?
I'm in Florida.
Doing?
Living.
Oh.
I moved.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I took the family, and I couldn't take L.A. anymore. And, miss the East Coast. And this, it's kind of closer to New York, and I get up there and kind of split my time a little bit.
But what is it about L.A. that finally gets to you that you would make a move?
It was just everything is the business where I was in Encino too, which is not even, it's supposed to, it's more of like a family town. It is better than being in Hollywood, but it was just everything is, who's your dad? What does he do? Does he do that? Does he have connect this, that, and I just, not that just a kid dealing with that and kind of just, I needed a break and kind of, I was out there for like 15, 16, maybe even more years, and I miss the East Coast. I just miss it too.
Does it change you? Sometimes you don't even know you've changed when you live in L.A.?
I think it can. I think you get, like, you forget, I don't know. You just, it really does. It's so cliche, everything you say about, the people and the energy and on the East Coast is just completely different, but it really, really is. I felt it, and I never accepted, like, Los Angeles as my home. I kind of just did it because I worked there, and it's been great to me. Certainly the business has been great, and I met a lot of great people. But and it was beautiful. It was the weather. You can't get. I was afraid of earthquakes. I hate everything. I don't know.
Did you become a Miami Heat fan now that you moved to Florida?
No.
Okay,
Still
all right.
Nick fan still, but man, what a run they had.
I was also thinking about this when you shoot a movie and then a year later it comes out and then you talk about it.
Right.
And then there's so much in between. How hard is that for you when you're shooting something and then, oh, that's right, we did this? Do you have to watch the movie to almost refresh yourself on what you did?
Absolutely. When you go out, and on most movies I do. I saw this one, though this is the craziest thing I've ever seen, this Grown Ups too. So this one I remember a lot of. But, yes, you do. You have to kind of, yes, because it is a very long time in between, and you will remember story points or things that happen, and people will ask you questions, and you're like, I don't know, and I have no idea, and I was in it. So yeah, you do have to watch it again. But this was nuts.
I was also, sometimes a trailer shows you fun stuff, but then you wonder, is that all that's in the movie? The Shaq moment when he's telling you guys to put your hands in the air. I laugh every time I see it, and Shaq reminds me almost like Bubba Smith, the former football player when he was in.
That's right.
There's that feel.
In the police academy.
Yes. Shaq is very funny.
I got to tell you, and it pissed me off because usually when you're good at one thing, okay, enough already, And he was fantastic, obviously, at basketball, and then he comes into our world, and you think like, all right, well, now we can show him who's boss. He honestly is probably one of the funniest in the movie, and it honestly annoyed me at some level where it's like, how does a guy effortlessly just, transfer from, one group being a fantastic athlete to being like one of the funniest guys on the set and just getting it with his timing and just knows and just adds funny stuff and improvs. Ask Sandler about it too. It pissed me off. It really did.
He's Kevin James, the actor, July 12th in theaters around the country, Grown Ups 2, joining us on the show. How hard is it to convince somebody to say, I'd like to be the romantic lead now? I'm a funny guy, but yeah, I'd sort of like to have a woman in here too.
Well, thankfully, I've written a lot of my own movies, which kind of makes it easier. I guess if I was auditioning for it, it would be a little bit more difficult. Yeah, and I can understand it. But I'm toning that down. I'm trying to go more realistic for people because there have been some outcries of mass proportions. No, you feel it, so you're like, okay, fine. Next time, I promise you, I will date a slug, and I will be married to that because That's apparently what's going to line up with me. And,
Well, what would be more convincing, you with Leah Remini or you and Sandler, and I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry?
For me?
Yeah.
Well, I did really well in my own life, in my personal life, and I found a great. And I got to say, I've always done well with batting above my my pay grade. I really have for some reason. I don't know why. So it's not as absurd to me, but I can understand what people say, and that's just part of it, though. I get to cast it. What am I going to do? I'm not going to have Selma Hayek in a movie.
I just watched Chuck and Larry again, and the scene where Sandler's in there with Jessica Biel, and she's taking off her clothes because she was out in the rain.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on.
Is that your number one scene?
In that movie?
But what about you didn't like me and you standing by the back of the ambulance thing?
No.
The fire truck?
No. When I said I don't speak Guyanese, no.
Yeah.
No, that one wasn't as hot as when Jessica Biel. I paused the movie.
All right. Well, then let's just agree to disagree because I don't know, man. You had the stash going.
Oh, I know. I know.
The whole thing.
Yeah. You have a painful acting moment. We were talking about painful moments. Bruins losing last night. Spurs losing to the Heat in a painful way in Game 6. Is there a painful acting moment that you've gone through?
I had a couple where I had to cry. Not cry. I didn't have to cry, but I had to be really upset. And I thought this could be a cool moment. And I was rehearsing in the dilemma where I was going to get really upset when I find out that my wife was cheating on me. And I cried a couple times, like I practiced by myself, and I got some tears going. I was like, all right, this is going to be unbelievable. This is going to be a good moment. And then I went, and when I did it in the scene, and it looked like I couldn't get tears, and I was straining a little bit hard to get them, and it literally looked like I had gas. It just looked like I had gas in the scene, and I think Ron Howard was like looking at me like, what are you doing? And I think that was kind of a little off-putting.
Wait, was this the dilemma?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure Vince Vaughn didn't help matters.
Well, I was laughing at him the whole time, so it was hard to cry with him.
Do you have a painful sports moment?
Oh, I have tons of painful sports moments, and now they consist of basically going to a celebrity game and literally pulling a hamstring every time out of the box. After you hit at a softball game, whatever it is. I pull muscles. It's amazing. But I broke my nose. We played on a pretty crappy field when I was growing up, and I was playing first base at the time. It might have been third base. It might have been the hot corner. Wherever it was a crappy field. The ball hit like a rock or whatever it was on a ripped shot by this moose, and it bounced up and hit me square in the nose and just split my nose. That was it. It just crushed it. That was probably the most painful physically.
Are you going to be at the premiere?
I am. I'm coming up. Are you going? We had no scenes together, man.
I know. I said to Sandler, I need to steal a scene. Can you not have any other actors in the scene? And so he did his best to do that. But when I climbed the rope with my Larry Bird shorts on.
With your shorts? Yeah, it is classic, I got to say.
Yeah.
It is one of the greatest moments. And the headlock on the legs,
yeah.
The legs, that was fantastic.
Yeah, well, I'm an actor, Kevin. I think I've established that.
Yes, you have.
I will see you then, July 10th in New York?
Yes, we'll be there, and I'm looking forward to it, pal.
All right, buddy. Good to visit with you. Thank you, Kevin.
You got it. Good talking to you.
All right, Kevin James, Grown Ups 2. July 10th is the premiere in New York City.